glad to be back. Happy afternoon. It's kind of a dreary, rainy day here in New York City. But today I wanted to talk to you guys about something I know it's not totally gluten-free related. And I'm sorry to come back after a little hiatus with something not so specifically to the point, but I think it's really important regardless. So I saw this movie this past weekend called Forks Over Knives. And I had not heard a lot about it. Actually, I hadn't heard anything about it. And my boyfriend's sister, Lisa, sent him an email saying we should go see it. So I'm really, really glad she did. I feel like since going gluten-free, I've realized how much of our health is associated with our diet. And I would have never, ever realized that before my celiac diagnosis. So it was really, really interesting to go see this movie. And let me give you a little explanation about it. It basically, I'll read you a little synopsis. It says 2 out of 3, 2 out of every 3 Americans are overweight. Cases of diabetes are exploding, especially amongst our younger population. About half of us are taking at least one prescription drug. Major medical operations have become routine, helping to drive healthcare costs to astronomical levels. Heart disease, cancer, and stroke are the country's 3 leading causes of death, even though billions are spent each year to battle these conditions. Millions suffer from a host of other digestive diseases, me being obviously one of those. And basically, these 2 doctors, researchers, did quite a bit of research, and that's kind of what the film came out of. And it says that their research led to this conclusion. Degenerative diseases like heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and even several forms of cancer could almost always be prevented and in many cases reversed by adopting a whole foods, plant-based diet. And I just really, I went in kind of excited to see the research. I really like documentaries. I really like learning new things about food and how it affects our lives. So I was really, really pleased by this movie. Obviously, food is something that's very important to me. I do quite a bit of research. I read a lot about, how food affects people diet-wise. But my boyfriend went with me, and he is not one who has the same kind of knowledge or thoughts on food. So it was really interesting for me to go in and hear it and kind of hear his opinion from someone who's kind of, this is his first exposure to anything like this. So it wasn't like when I left Food Inc., I was like, oh my gosh, I had this visceral reaction where I left and was like, everything is changing at this moment. This movie was a little bit more like, I have a lot to reassess. I definitely need to do some diet restructuring, and I definitely need to look. Food Inc. was kind of like, I got to make these changes right now. Forks Over Knives was kind of like, I need to make these changes in my own life, and I want to look at those around me and see how they're eating, and if there's, people who in my family or close friends who are sick, maybe this diet change would really help them. So, and I even talked to my dad about it, who hasn't seen the movie yet, but he was really taking the message to heart, and I was really impressed. So basically, the message is, to be on a plant-based diet, no dairy, no eggs, no meat. And it's not technically no. They have a study where they show 5% of a diet made from animal proteins has a certain effect. So anyway, you definitely need to see the movie to kind of get the full research. But a lot of the core research says, being vegan is the kind of the healthiest diet you could possibly have. So definitely make your own opinion, see it for yourself. I'll link you back to the website so you can watch the trailer and see if it's playing in your area. And if it is, I highly, highly recommend going to see it. If not, definitely watch the trailer, mess around on the website and see if you can glean anything, and see if there's any changes in your diet you might like to make. And especially if you are vegan, and I'd like to kind of know how you feel, like if you feel so much better since going vegan and being gluten-free. But anyway, that's about it for now. I just thought it was a movie definitely worth putting information out about and definitely sharing with you guys. So thanks, Lisa, for forwarding this along. And I hope everyone's doing well out there. And as always, it's from Having Gluten-Free Dining. Thanks for watching.